दिल्ली में आपका स्वागत.
ನಿಲ್ದಾಣದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೊರಟಿರುವರೆ ಚೆನ್ನೈ एक्सप्रेस दयावती स्टेशन नेताजी भवन
Hello and welcome to Voltas FreshAir Coolers presents Cricbuzz Live. I'm Gaurav Kapur. With me, Bhattacharjya and Lisa Sthalekar, here to tell you that, the poor record for Bangalore at home kind of just carries on. It's not been a happy homecoming for them. Well, the fans were there. They're happy to see them, yeah. But the Gujarat bowlers, well, they've ruled the roost today. They really have. They managed to get Bangalore restricted to 169 for 8. Liam Livingstone, well, on the scorecard, it looks like he's got 54, but he had 53 chances from what it looked like. It was perhaps one of the all limbs 50s that he will ever make, but they still got them to 169. It was not going to be much of a challenge for Gujarat, and that was kind of proven right, Joy.
Absolutely. And I, once again, we talked about Gujarat and said their strength is their top three. And once again, I mean, 2 of the top 3 came good, and that just made so much of a difference because they took them close enough for after them for the rest to finish was not so difficult. So I think that's what the Gujarat plan is, that as long as Buttler is in this kind of form, he's got 2 50s, he's got a 39, have that form, Shubman will come to form, Sai Sudharshan is batting beautifully. I think that package up front is what's delivering for them, once the bowlers do the job, of course.
Yeah, Lisa, good point on Jos Buttler, because when you look at him today, it's not vintage Jos Buttler. He'll be the first to tell you it's not. But at least he's got the runs, and some of the hits, maybe, was still vintage, just a few.
Yeah, I mean, he was 10 off 10 or 9 off 10. Yeah. He didn't come out of the blocks really hard. So he had to fight his way, didn't he?
Yeah.
Didn't have a great performance with the gloves behind the stumps. Now, a more inexperienced keeper would come out and go, right, oh, well, might as well just throw the wood at the leather and let's hope that today I can change my luck. But he actually fought his way through a little bit. And then once he started to go, and I think it was Salam's over, he got 18, and that kind of really started his innings. And then the rest is history, right? You see, then he kind of rolls back the time and, he starts to get these type of shots going nicely. Yeah. That goes for 6 and you go, okay, he's seeing the ball well again.
I think he's almost scrapped his way back into form.
Yeah.
This is something we used to talk about Chennai in their heydays, the CSK team in their heydays, which is that when you win matches playing badly, okay?
Yeah.
And they sort of crawl across the line. 30 overs, they've been dominated, but they finally managed to win. And that's exactly what Jos Buttler does, because the one interesting thing about it is the moment he sees the shots are not going, he starts playing percentage. Because then he'll play his cut because he knows that it's a riskless shot.
Yeah.
And he'll play himself into a position where he can once again start taking chances. And by the end, exactly, he was 95% the Jos we know.
Yeah.
When he started off, he must have been 35%. So even that is something which truly experienced, and that's why he's one of the 5, maybe 2 or 3 greatest white ball batters in the world right now.
Yeah, and let's also talk about Sai Sudharshan, because he's been he could have had his 3rd 50 in a row, right? I mean, he got out for 49 today. But the fact is that he's got the runs, repaid the faith that Gujarat has had in him for the last few seasons.
Well, even in the coverage, they were asking, should Jos Buttler be opening?
Yeah.
So you would expect that this guy knew that he was going to be the position, knowing full well that everyone's like, excuse me, Jos Buttler and his record and yours doesn't quite match up. But as a youngster these days, you've got to take your opportunity. And there's a little bit of, I can do just as good a job. He is.
I'm just wondering if that question that is being asked is actually asked if you want Jos Buttler to open with Sai Sudharshan and move the captain down to 3. With the going form.
Well, I think Shubman Gill said he likes the left-right combination.
Yeah. So there you go. We'll still be left-right.
It'll still be left-right. Only it may have a slight change, which the captain may not always appreciate. But there's one other factor, which is I was just thinking about and saying, look at the Team 11 today, okay? And Sharfi and Rutherford justified, because, what they tried to do also is that if you have that impact player which you can hold back till the end, then suppose they had been 34 for 3, the odds are that Glenn Phillips would have walked in.
Yeah.
Okay? But what happened is that if you know that the game's now gone deep, now you just need somebody to finish it, Shafin Rutherford Pakistan.
Yeah.
Here's my only one question to you. That if you were to tell me that Shah Rukh Khan or Tewatia at this point deserve a place ahead of Glenn Phillips, I have an issue.
Can I give you my theory on this? My theory is that today they've played Arshad Khan. Yeah. They have played him in place of Rabada.
Yeah.
And proven that they can actually have an Indian attack that can do the job, along with Rashid Khan being the only overseas bowler, which might allow them to then play 3 overseas batters. So add Glenn Phillips now in that middle order that we're saying could be vulnerable, along with Shafin Rutherford and Jos Buttler.
Yeah, or you could go the other way and not pick Rashid Khan.
Stop it.
I mean, if you...
But today's a day for going after every holy cow possible.
I know, and I know, but if
so
you
wait a minute, I just want to tell everyone in India that within 1 minute, Lisa Sthalekar has suggested that Shubman Gill should not open.
I did not say
and
that.
Rashid Khan should not play. I'm just putting it out there.
In all fairness,
there's a headline.
Hang on, in all fairness, I said Shubman, so it's 1-1.
Yeah.
But yours is bigger.
Yeah.
I still kept Shubman in the team. I just moved him to 3. Right. You've taken Rashid out.
Well, I'm looking at his record.
Okay.
Over the last, since IPL 04, I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong.
24, IPL last.
24,
yeah,
sorry.
So last year.
Yeah, last year. He's only picked up 1 wicket with his leg spin delivery against a right-hander.
Okay.
Now, if he's not picking up wickets with his stock delivery, is that a concern? I would think so.
Yeah. So this is classically called by most people as a Sakleen Mushtaq issue.
Okay.
That his Dusra became so good that he lost his off spin.
Okay.
And so he stopped taking wickets with his off spin. And once you stop taking wickets with your stock delivery, then the away delivery, the Dusra, becomes less effective because people play for it.
Yeah.
So I think that's what she's saying, that, unless his legs, he gets back a little bit of bite on his leggy, they won't bite so much on his googly.
Or I'd love to see, is he bowling more of his wrong ends now, because that's the more effective delivery. So because it's coming down a lot more, you're actually playing him like an off spinner.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like you're expecting the wrong end. Yeah,
what we call the Bishnoi fallacy.
Yeah. So
I like the Bishnoi fallacy. It just sounds so good.
So I haven't done all the crunching of the numbers to see that, but I did come across that he's only picked up 1 wicket since last IPL with his leg spin against Rajat.
Interesting number.
So
it is a big one considering he was their kind of top draft pick. He has delivered for Gujarat all this while, and I still have this feeling that he's good enough to come.
If you saw that 4th over. What did he have? He had one LBW, which seemingly the height was too much. Then there was a catch.
I don't know how, because Livingston was on the floor pretty much.
Yeah,
and it took a while to draw that.
I know. That would have hit the middle stump, we thought, and suddenly it went over,
Yeah, so he had
those poles changing. And there was a catch.
The catch.
Yeah, the catch, Sai Sudharshan coming in.
Yeah, so I think, look, he is...
Bit of bad luck, yeah.
So, we don't know. And look, this is a long tournament, and Ashish will again back his proven horses. These are pedigreed horses, Jos Buttler, Shubman Gill, Rashid Khan. So, I mean, let's give them that time,
Okay, so that was that. Of course, let's have a look at the batting effort.
Taken us down a rabbit hole.
Yeah, really have. I'm like, no, Rashid is playing. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, guys. He's playing. But the fact is that form is a problem because, we saw... He got a 50 as well today, right? It was 4 overs and 54. So he's had a half century as well today, in a game where everybody else has managed to keep RCB down to 169. So his 54 really kind of sticks out there. And we will give him a little bit of leeway on that because that last over, bit of bad luck, should have had a wicket, maybe 2. There were 2 different batters, wasn't it? The miscatch was Tim David and the LBW was Livingston.
I think.
No, I can't remember.
Yeah, I think so. Anyway,
possibly too bad.
There was 2 chances there, and of course, then that ends up leaking another 10, 12 runs. Those figures could have looked a little different from that, but I think Rashid will definitely play. All right, this is what the bowlers did for Bangalore, and have to doff our hat to Bhuvneshwar Kumar. This is the reason, Joy, why they went after a 35-year-old, a quick bowler in Chinnaswamy. They went after him really aggressively in the auction. And this is why, because I think more and more people are realizing that it's not, you don't have to bludgeon your way. It's not the 145 km that's going to get you the wickets, it's the 135. If you use your mind well, pitch it correctly, use your guile.
Yeah, I mean, you think about it. I mean, RCB has the worst record in the power play of all teams.
Yeah.
Worst economy, worst this thing.
All
least
last
wickets,
year,
all last year. So what you have is a situation where you've got the premier who bowls well there. There's Trent Bolt and there's Bhuvneshwar Kumar. They picked one of those guys.
Bhuvi's first over, the power play, he gives away 5 runs. Then he bowls the third over for 4 runs, and then he bowls the 5th over for 7 runs. Come on, that's gold.
Yeah, it is gold. However, tonight's pitch at Chinnaswamy offered something to the fast bowler, which we saw in the previous innings. So the fact that they've gone, okay, what is the blueprint and what are the fast bowlers trying to do? Okay, it's that back of a length, make it harder, they can't drive. And Bengaluru bowlers were able to, Bhuvi, of course, was exceptional. So to be able to understand what the plan is and then to execute is another thing. But I think it's smart buys. And whilst they're disappointed they didn't get the victory tonight, I think having those experienced bowlers will hold them in good stead on that ground.
See, what's also happening is that what other people will now try and do is they attacked Rasid Salam when he came in. They'll attack Livingston because they'll now know that because Bhuvi and Josh Hazlewood were going to put a lot of pressure on you.
Yeah.
So if you see Rasid Salam, he's a sub, he comes in they put pressure on him. They put Yash Dayal under pressure, slight bit of pressure. But Kunal Pandya, again, he's their sort of, Swiss knife, fits into every situation, can bowl a bouncer from a spin action.
Yeah.
He's also put under pressure because they realize that the proper fast bowlers, especially if you're a pedigreed fast bowler, are difficult under these conditions.
Yeah, I mean, you're obviously looking at those numbers and thinking what Joy is saying is not making sense in terms of Hazlewood. But that's because in the last over, when there was no pressure, he's got hit for 3 sixes at that point in time. But we're talking about the power play, right? And the power play made complete sense because with him and Bhuvi, they kept it tight. What was it? A 42-run power play, right? When you lose just 1 wicket and you've got 42 runs, that's a power play you'll take as a fielding side when you're defending 169.
Yeah, you kept your team in the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, they would have liked a couple of more wickets.
The interesting part is that both of them, Bhuvi got 3. But Hazlewood, after his second, they pulled him off.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think everyone was expecting maybe one more. Yeah. Because you needed to get wickets early on. The longer the game went, the easier it was always going to be.
Correct.
So you have to strike at the front end, almost within the first 7 to 8 overs. So have your most attacking fields, your best bowls, and almost bowl them out.
Yeah, that's your only chance. And I totally agree. If your total is 200, 205, 210. Hold him back, bring him back later. Now, throw all your resources. You need wickets. You're not going to, if the game goes long, you're going to lose it.
Absolutely. And if they had, we always knew it was going to be a 1-2-3 game, right? If they managed to get Sai Sudharshan, Jos Buttler, they got Shubman Gill early. But after that middle order, it's not been tested too much. They haven't batted too much. So it could have been just a little bit of vulnerability that they would have exposed. But Sai Sudharshan and Jos Buttler, I've got to give it to both of them with remarkable maturity. They actually played fairly, I'm just trying to think, it was chanceless, wasn't it?
Fairly risk-free.
Yeah.
Very risk-free.
Did they give anything?
I don't remember any chances. And again, when did they take chances? Right towards the end. 75 runs in 47 balls. Again, both of them contributing and none of them really, really looked in trouble. Or none of them looked, if you see the risky shots also Jos Buttler played, they were all towards the end, this reverses and all that. When he was so confident, 30-odd runs left to go, he was doing whatever he wanted, seeing the ball by a football by. At that stage, he's now seeing the ball properly.
Yeah, the game was in the bag by that time. So you're right. Sometimes, do you feel that sometimes it's like we were talking about old money and we were talking about the old game yesterday, right? With Michael Vaughan with a pipe and a rocking chair. Sometimes you think that, yes, Bhuvi bowling 3 and Josh bowling 3 would be conventional wisdom, right? That's how you would do it in the old times. Sometimes you just don't do it because you're like, oh, we can't.
Well, no, we can't keep serving up the same bowler because then they'll target them. So let's just chop and change. Yeah. But when the pitch is assisting you, then don't change anything.
Nothing wrong with being conventional if the situation demands it.
Exactly. And who would Jos Buttler and Sai Sudharshan rather see? Rasid Salam bowling or Josh Hazlewood bowling?
Exactly.
Ask yourself who would the batsman least like to see.
Yeah.
There's a very clear answer to that.
Yeah.
I actually, I was just trying to think back. I don't remember the last time I saw a T20 game where
3-3.
it's 2 bowlers, 3 and 3. Because growing up, you've just seen, ODI cricket where it's 5 and 5. Or you're like, oh, they got a long spell. It goes 6 and 6, or at least 4 and 4, right? But now you see sometimes 5 bowlers in the power play.
Yeah.
So when's the last time you only saw 2 bowlers in the power play? Geez, let us know in the comments, tweet at us, social media, anything. I mean, we've got a few people who could research that as well, but they're asleep. I made them clean the studio, so they're tired.
Lord.
In case you want to tell us.
Lord.
But we, of course, are talking about the batting of Gujarat. But the reason why they won the game, let's be fair, is because their bowlers set it up for them. And their bowlers set it up for them right in the beginning. And the one guy who set it up for them was Nehra Siraj, and he's our coolest performer, powered by Voltas FreshAir coolers, powerful air throw, ultimate comfort. And this is what he did. The story is beautiful. Nehra Siraj played so much for RCB, thought he was going to be retained by the team, wasn't retained, and then they didn't bid for him in the auction. Gets picked up by Gujarat. He's got a good mentor there in a former India fast bowler. You see him, first game, leaks runs, gets his captain Rohit Sharma, India captain Rohit Sharma in the second game. Today comes in here, he walked into Chinnaswamy, and it's almost like he's thinking, I'm going to the wrong dressing room. I should be at the home dressing room, isn't it?
Absolutely.
It can start from pretty much the door you enter the stadium.
Absolutely. I mean, you said it so right. And which way do you turn? Because Chinnaswamy, you walk up the stairs and then
you go either one way or the other.
And it is like that. And I just love the way that first over, if you remember the first ball, I don't think Virat had, or was it Salt, had no idea where the ball was. He hit the ball, it was in the air, and nobody knew where the ball was, it fled. Then Salt gets dropped by Jos Buttler in that same over. Okay. Still he comes back in the third over, gets Salt, comes back in the fifth over, gets Padikkal when Padikkal was just beginning to start flourishing, and then comes back in the 19th over. Okay, they gave 64 runs in the last 5. Okay, he gave 4 in the 19th over and takes Liam Livingstone's wicket. So can you imagine? So everyone else is going at 15 and over in that period. He's gone at 4.
Yeah, he was
incredible.
He was fantastic today.
I think he's copped a bit of criticism, hasn't he, about white ball can't take wickets in different phases, and maybe more so in the power play. Hence why when he got Rohit, I think he wanted to celebrate like he normally does, and he was like, no, keep it in the box, keep it in the box, stay cool, stay cool.
It's the boss.
Yeah.
I'm going to be in blue soon.
Well, keep it quiet, put a lid on it. But the fact that he's coming out and proving a point. I feel like there's a few players that are proving their point this IPL.
PTP 11, like we like to call it. The point to prove 11. Ishan Kishan in the first game.
So I think he's got his opportunity with a new franchise, and maybe, like you said, a different mentor, a different coach, a different environment that will just polish him up just a little bit more. It doesn't have to be a lot. But just enough to give him the confidence to be able to do what he wants to do.
Bees, you're absolutely right, because I think Ashish Nehra is a very good coach for fast bowlers. You see Shami also. Shami had a resurrection. They all talked about Shami, but Shami has not been a great T20 bowler till he started wearing Gujarat Titans colours. And before that, he used to play for DC. He's played for KKR. He's played for DC. Punjab. He's gone for runs. He's taken because he's gone for runs. But really, that sort of spirit of the attack he became in Gujarat, and that I think Ashish Nehra has a part to play in it. One of my favorite stories actually with Ashish Nehra and Siraj is, do you remember that game that happened in the Chinnaswamy with Mahendra Singh Dhoni? 6s from wide Yorkers. Finished him off. Smashed him over point. You were there. I was there that day, right? And we were in I remember the same hotel, must be 7 or 8 seasons ago. It was when Ashish was coaching RCB. And I remember after the game, Ashish and me were supposed to have dinner. And he said, wait, I want to call Siraj and just spend some time with him. Called him. We didn't talk about cricket. There was no talk about cricket. He knew that here was this guy who was just down in the dumps, perhaps, after getting thrashed by one of the best in the white ball game. Guy who can outthink you, MS Dhoni, in his peak back then. And he realized that guy just needed to not be in his room.
To overthink it and replay everything.
Just not be alone. So we were just whatever, by the poolside in the evening, nice Bangalore weather, just having a chat. I think we had some food. And the fourth guy with us was Parthiv Patel, who is now back there in that setup again. So it's amazing how it all just, there is so much virtue in this being a man management job more than a skill training job.
Yeah.
Right? It's you got to manage the player. They've got the skills. They've got to manage the player.
Yeah, lovely point. And I remember you saying this original story when you said it. It just stayed with me because it's such an important thing because that they're not talking cricket. They're not talking anything to do with cricket. It's just being there to see that he's not alone with his thoughts.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you one thing. You're right. I'd just change that a little bit. It's a man management thing and a skill polishing thing.
Okay.
You can't make skills, you polish them a little bit. And I think that's what Ashish does really well. Those little tweaks saying, okay, why don't you try this? Just, your wrist, is it just falling away a bit? Can you just keep it a bit straighter? Very minor things. And that's what, say, Ashish, Nehra, Wasim Akram was so good at. Because you're not going to teach them to change their action at this age.
Yeah.
But you'll just make that minor tweak that will suddenly make them look at things in a new way.
Yeah, there's been some redemption for Mohammad Siraj in the last 2 games against Rohit Sharma. It was just that because Rohit actually took his name, we spoke about him, didn't take him to the Champions Trophy, right? He was not in the squad and said that he's been leaking a few runs and not been in form. So I guess getting him middle stump, castling him is always good. And I think today at Chinnaswamy, because this team didn't retain him. So it's a nice story. It's these battles within battles, the context that makes the story so amazing. But today it was his performance. It was absolutely fantastic. Helped Gujarat set up the win in the first half of the game itself. And that's what makes Mohammad Siraj our coolest performer, powered by Voltas FreshAir coolers. Powerful air throw, ultimate comfort. That's right. You can tell that Siraj is very comfortable in those GT colours. Well, I'll tell you who's not comfortable. It's the Bangalore team in Chinnaswamy Stadium, right? This is just, okay, I've said it before. I said it in the pre-game. It's going to happen again. It's going to happen this year. This year, they will have a good year in Chinnaswamy. I'm getting things coming right this year.
Because you said they were going to lose this game.
I told you the start's not going to be good. GT is going to get them today, but they're going to win 4 out of 7 at home.
Well, I know that the Bengaluru crowd will be disappointed because in WPL, RCB didn't win any games at home.
Yeah, either they keep winning or they don't win it.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. So, and it hasn't started off well in the IPL. So they're like, come on, surely the second game at home.
And in many ways, they're the nicest crowd. They don't, I mean, if you had performances that in Mumbai, your players would get booed. They don't. They patiently take it every time. I don't know how they do it.
Yeah, because, they're sitting in that stadium missing their last train from Churchgate. So they're going to have that we're here for a win. All right, so that's going to happen. But yeah, this is Do you think that they can turn this around? They've got the personnel. It's just one game, I know.
No, absolutely. I think this is a very, very decent RCB team, and let's not judge it and you tend to judge it because 2, 3, 4 wickets. These are short formats. Short formats is very difficult to recover. It's not like a 50-over game where you have an opportunity to make it up. So I think it's a bad day in the office for RCB. They're still a very, very good team. They're an excellent team. I feel they've got to be looking at their bowler and perhaps, Rashid Salam, given that it's 170, perhaps you could have just tried Suyash and just said, let me change it up.
Yeah.
Let me change it up a bit.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, I think they went with,
because the ball
coming
was
starting
pace and bounce.
So
but Suyash also likes the bounce because he tosses it up a bit.
Yeah.
He likes bounce.
Yeah, it could have been. I'm just saying that there are not too many teams, if you were to take any positive out of it, there's not too many teams that could have gone from 42 for 4
to 170.
To still 170.
69, yeah.
I think the RCB fans and the RCB team will take that as a plus because that long batting, the top order may not have delivered today, but the middle did.
Well, Tim David came in at what, 8?
8, exactly.
Yeah.
That's my point.
8.
Tim David is coming in at 8 and Shahrukh and Tiwati are coming in at 5 and 6. So one team has won, one team has lost. But that I'm still telling you that those batting orders are very different. And
so if you go head to head and if they were to play each other for the next week, every game, I think you would have a different outcome. Today is just one of those days.
Yeah.
There's no doubt RCB will get in the change room, we just didn't get going with the bat. What do we expect?
Yeah.
Oh, well, it's okay. Some positive signs. Later order kicked in and got us to a respectable total. But we'll be better next game.
Yeah, it's not even, it's not like they've had a 116 game, right? Like we saw a couple of days ago. So it's not a 116 game. It's not a complete batting collapse. So I think they'll definitely take that from it. And GT, well, they'll take this bowling performance every day of the week and twice on Sundays. Now, my question is, so their next game, does Kagiso or Rabada come in? Because Arshad Khan did really well today.
Rajat Khan did decently. And remember one thing, Nehra also likes a left armour in the attack.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he gets that extra angle there. Arshad Khan's, been around, bounced around. He's done Mumbai Indians, he's done LSG, he's come here. He's got wickets for them. It's interesting because there's no injury report on Rabada, right?
No, they
I
just
think it
said
was personal
they
circumstances.
just said personal reasons. So
Yeah.
that could be anything, but that's all they said.
I mean, and if you say personal, is he still in the country? Has he gone back for some reason? I mean, all this is unknown. So these two unknowns remain for us. That's one. Two is I'm hoping Virat's thumb or whichever finger that
Yeah,
was
we
is
didn't
fine.
see if he came
Didn't
back
seem to
on.
be, didn't seem to see.
We'll never know because you know how teams are so closely guarded about players' availability,
Yeah, but what? I don't get that.
injuries, and
In Australian football at home, when someone has an injury, they've done a hamstring, they're out for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Like it's reported and everyone understands.
So they think it's a team secret so that your 11 is not sure. So I think in Australia, as it is in America, on all professional sport, it's mandatory for you to report.
No, but it happens in cricket in Australia too. I'm just saying, why does cricket, we have to, it's not a contact sport. It's not like I'm going to tackle you there, so I'm going to tell you,
Take
so I can
advantage.
understand why you're going to keep the secret.
Yeah.
In cricket, we're not contact. I don't believe we're a contact sport.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
Okay.
a few instances do come to mind.
some, yeah. But so I don't understand why the secrecy. Just say.
And I
Say
do
what the
remember a
injury
time
is.
where there used to be complete clarity on players' availability, and suddenly over the last few years there seems to be a bit of a cloud that has settled on it.
I think one of the things they use it is because they don't want people to guess their 11. So, you're keeping your player out and you're saying that, okay, I don't know whether he's going to play or not play, so they keep the other guy in suspense. I think the league has to make a rule
Spend the
about it.
extra 5 minutes in the team meeting going through the strengths and
Another
weaknesses,
name.
how to get out. Oh, okay, right, got
And
it.
then you go, oh my God, his hamstring was gone. Why did we waste our time? No. Anyway, let's have a look at what the points table looks like after today's game. Gujarat has got that win. They've got the 2 points and now they are at number 4. Bengaluru has slipped down, which will make Punjab fans really happy because now Punjab is sitting at the top. The net run rate has taken quite a hit. If I remember correct, Joy, it was 2.2 or 2.3
It was up
yesterday.
into two.
I think it was above 2.
It was
Yeah.
definitely above 2. I think it was 0.3, 0.4, something like that. So it's taken a hit today.
It's taken a big
This one.
17.5. They finished it with 13 balls to spare. So it's a bit of a
Yeah.
hit. And because the total is also less, so the impact is more.
Well, that's what has happened. Well,
That's why
anyway,
Joy's here to tell us.
that's why
how it
he's
works.
to tell us. I tell you about macroeconomic theories.
Yeah.
He tells
I
you
like
about statistics.
economists. Stiegler,
What
Friedman.
am I here for then?
You are here for your insights on Aussie football.
And I really love it and watch it and follow it.
and you're also here to drop the bombs, like you
Yeah,
dropped
the
that bomb today, which is boom. Will
Rashid.
Rashid play the next game? I like it. You're braver than us. I'll tell you that.
Just that, you're going to Pakistan, I wouldn't make that trip to Afghanistan right now. I'd avoid Kabul.
Not after what you say.
Okay.
That's why we call it. That's why we call it the pocket rocket. That's what we call it, the pocket rocket. All right. Well, there is the one game tomorrow. The one game. I'm not working, so I don't want to talk about it. May I leave?
I'm not working
No such
either on
luck.
it.
No such luck. I'm working.
Oh, so
Are
you
you
talk.
working?
And you guys need to help me through this.
Okay.
You will be working. If you're working, then I'm guessing it's a Kolkata game, is it? Just guess.
It happens to be a game, I'm not saying Kolkata, champions versus runners-up last year.
No.
Sorry, wait.
Big clash.
A
Sorry,
replay of the final.
And where are you guys at the moment on the ladder?
Look, these are the... I don't understand analysts who start judging and deciding after 3 games, This is the kind of, hurriedness that you see when,
Yeah, let's look at the points table to just see where these two.
Let's see.
Did you...
I'm just saying what the implications were. Oh, it's 8 and 10. All right.
Gaurav,
I genuinely.
don't buy that ticket to Kolkata.
I just genuinely didn't remember. I knew I knew that both teams are 1 win from 3, but I didn't know where they were. But 1 win out of 3. Now I'm just going to talk about Hyderabad first, right? Because Hyderabad had that humongous start, 286. They start the tournament, everybody goes nuts. It's like, how were they even allowed to, put together this team of fantastic beasts?
And when are they going to break 300?
Yeah, exactly. That was a conversation.
That was the
And
conversation.
suddenly the next
after that.
2 games, you're like,
One-
can I just describe it in, according to me, I'll give you a technical analysis of what happened to their batting in the next 2 innings.
Please tell me your technical terminology.
I'll tell you. Wow, 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 wow. Okay, so makes perfect sense, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You made your point.
Enough
You
said.
have nothing.
I
No,
think you've got a few
enough.
more wows. So I think there's only supposed to be about 3, I reckon.
Yeah.
But
This
anyway.
is that, when they're running, and especially in those cartoons, and
When
suddenly
land
midair-
finishes.
Yeah, finishes and they're going, and then suddenly.
Wow, 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 wow. We used to watch cartoon films back then. It's nothing to do with anime, right? I don't think that happens in anime. But they scored 286, right? Obviously, everybody talked about what they talked about because they did the same as last year. Then they had one game where you go, okay, other teams will be looking and saying Hyderabad batting is mortal. They can be. Now they have another game like that, which they have had. So now where are we with this batting lineup?
Yeah, they're kind of on the slide. What? 190, 163. And you get a sense that if Travis Head and Abhishek Sharma don't get off to a flyer, then there'll be a bit of an element in the camps where you kind of go, oh, are we going downhill again? Because you look at all of their scores, one of those 2 guys has gone ballistic, right? And these last few games hasn't necessarily been the case. So if I was an opposition, I'm thinking, how am I getting both of these guys out? Because then the vulnerability you start to see.
And the thing is that since this is such a confidence game, you don't care about, fine, Hyderabad will still believe. But what happens is the bowlers then start believing, saying, all right, we've got 2 teams before us that have done this. We can do this as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. I think it is still, what is so interesting is that in the event, they've actually unearthed 2 more players. Aniket Verma is a legitimate prospect.
Yeah.
Nitish Reddy is an all-rounder. So you've actually added to it. You've got Klaasen, who's probably considered the best player of spin in the world at this point in time. So the point is, yes, they are vulnerable. Yes, they are vulnerable, but that is still a very, very, very powerful batting side. I think what you got to look at is actually look at Bengaluru today. And Bengaluru might have made 170. But what did Bangalore do? They reached 170 because they turned around and they said that, okay, if you have 42 for 4, we've got to graft for a while.
Change the game. Yeah.
Kolkata didn't. And Hyderabad didn't the last 2 times. They still went bang, 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 bang. They kept going. They were like cowboys.
Yeah.
And the point is that being a cowboy and getting out for 120 doesn't make sense. So the point of it is that if you can reach 170, at least you can make a fight of it. It's not that Bangalore won today, but they kept themselves in the game at least. And I think that's the one thing, that adjustment that every batter has to be fearless. Somewhere, if you're 3 down or 4 down, somebody has to say, hold on, guys. Let's at least make 170, 175 and give our bowlers a chance. Because otherwise you're going to get shot out for 120.
Pitches around India are not 280 plus. They're not all that.
Yeah.
So assess the conditions and bat accordingly.
Great point.
So 180 might be enough today. So don't just think because this is our brand, this is our blueprint, this is what we do. That's fine for majority of pitches, but you'll come across a pitch that isn't like that.
Yeah.
And are you going to play the same way in a final if the pitch is a little bit more bowler friendly? I'd like to think that you'd try to adapt.
Yeah.
So that's what I would like to see. It's almost that reckless cricket that we've seen from individuals in the past. This is how I play and take it or leave it.
Yeah.
Well, you're not going to win lots of games doing that.
Yeah.
So
And Jos Buttler is a perfect example today.
Yeah.
Great point.
He didn't take it or leave it. He didn't go reckless. He took his time. Of course, he knew what he was chasing. That also makes
still
sense.
finished with a 190 strike rate.
And he
Right?
finished.
Despite being 10 of 10.
Exactly.
Yeah, so you gotta, there's lessons in adaptability, right? It's life. You just gotta adapt, and I think we didn't see that from Hyderabad. We definitely didn't see that from Kolkata in the last game that they played. And the net run rate effect of that game and their loss to Bangalore is what has them down at the bottom of the table. They are defending champions, of course, so you expect that they will be playing better and they will move up. But at this point in time, that net run rate is minus 1.5 almost. So they'll want to crawl out of that. For Hyderabad, I just want to tell you that despite the last 2 losses, their captain, Postman Pat, has still said that I want the team to continue playing aggressive. Now, I'm just hoping that that's just something you say in a press conference and the team knows better, the players know better, and they go, all right, we got to change the game a little bit. Will they change their team, though? I doubt it. Despite the 2 losses, doesn't look like
The only difference I can see is that, remember, they bought in Vian Mulder as a impact
right.
sub.
Yeah.
They would have probably, because they wanted to bring in a bat, they would have probably got Zampa in.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Because they ran out of
wanted to go.
batters.
Yeah, they ran out, and so they had to go Mulder. So, and I think it was a ground that was turning a bit more, and
Yeah,
they
Zampa would have been really useful
Yeah.
for them, but they'd lost too many wickets, so they had to bring in an all-rounder.
Yeah, we've seen this happen a few times, right? When they're in threat with their batting, they get another batter. Rather than saying it's a low-scoring game, we'll need the bowler later now even more.
Yeah.
Right?
Correct.
We've seen that in 2 games.
I think Kolkata, last match also?
Yeah, we saw
Manish
that.
Pandey came in, I think.
Manish Pandey came in when they would have perhaps needed Vaibhav Arora
Yeah, they would have
Yeah.
needed
to defend
Vaibhav.
a low score.
Absolutely.
Correct.
Okay, well, let's have a look at the Kolkata team and see if they would make any changes. Narayan played the first game, then Moeen Ali played the second game in his place, and Sunil Narayan came back. But it looks like this is their preferred 11.
The only person I see, the only likely change, one is Spencer Johnson, and you can go 2 ways. You can go for Nokia, and our producer has a great idea, which is that you can go, given that Spencer Johnson isn't exactly setting the nation on fire right now, you can go Robman Powell, because that then gives you even more power, because there's one more bat you can throw at it.
Wow, but
Are you going to be a bit light on bowling then?
Yeah.
But see, you got Harshit Rana, so you'll go Rana, Vaibhav Arora, okay?
Yeah.
Narayan Russell.
Narayan Russell, this thing. So you've got Narayan Russell, Chakravarti.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've got bowling options. It's not that you don't have bowling options.
Yeah.
And look at what Spencer Johnson has given you. He's given you 1 wicket, I think. So.
Yeah, it's almost like if we can't get Mitch Starc, we'll go Spencer Johnson. Completely different players, completely different phases of their life. Spencer Johnson only, 2-3 years ago, was really discovered by Brisbane Heat and then burst onto the scene.
Yeah.
Doesn't necessarily swing it as much, more of a bash it in to the pitch and tries to take wickets, and definitely isn't as effective at the back end. So you can't just go like for like an Aussie tall, left arm, quick. No, different guys.
Yeah, it's not happened. Player to watch out for? Both teams, let's start with Hyderabad. Player to watch out for?
I think they're really dependent on, therefore it's important for Travis Head to get going.
All right, Travis Head for you. For you, Lisa?
Abhishek Sharma, been quiet the last 2 games.
Excellent. Should I just pick number 3 then? Just go 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's go with Ishan Kishan then.
Okay.
And for the Knight Riders?
I think this is going to be, if Sunil Narayan does not get runs up front this time.
You reckon they might move him down?
They shouldn't, but I think Sunil Narayan for me is the player to watch, because he and Russell are their talismanic cricketers. When they have outstanding seasons, KKR has an outstanding season.
Yeah.
And so they need, Sunil Narayan will almost inevitably have it with the ball, but when he has it with the bat as well, they're a different team. So I think Sunil Narayan for me.
Okay.
Then I'll go Andre Russell then. Because he's done nothing, really.
Yeah.
He's bowled decently, but
Yeah.
But not, I mean, you expect him
Not
to change
his
matches.
usual.
Okay. And I'll go with Chuck E. Cheese. I'll go with Varun Chakravarti then. I think that's...
Yeah. I think one of the things you got to remember is very early in the season, these two are still very, very good teams. They're 8th and 10th right now. They're still very, very good teams. I think they're teams who haven't yet discovered themselves, and it's almost as if who's got off the starting blocks well, and they just haven't got off the starting blocks. They're sort of stumbling there. But yeah, now the fun is going to start as they sort of retool and work their way. Either they'll sort of start plunging or they'll start rising.
I mean, these are 10 really solid teams.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, when you sometimes look outside of the players that were unsold, you're like, well, we perhaps could have 12 really competitive teams as well, right? It's like what Michael Vaughan was saying, that you could have 3 Indian white ball teams right now. Similarly, with the kind of players that are outside, you could have, possibly 12 teams. So they're 10 really good teams. But again, it's about a tournament that comes, it comes fast at you. It comes at you. Suddenly you're like, we feel like we just started and you're already 3 games down, out of which you've lost 2. So it can come fast and furious, and it's about getting the combinations right out of a very big squad. But they're all talented teams. Well, who will come out on top tomorrow? It's happening in Hyderabad, and we're going to be here at 7 o'clock on Cricbuzz Live. So do join us then. Oh, tomorrow's in Kolkata. Is it in Hyderabad or in Kolkata tomorrow?
I think it's in Kolkata tomorrow.
Eden Gardens?
Yeah,
Eden Gardens. Oh, so then I picked the wrong player to watch out for. You know why?
Why?
I picked the curator.
Oh, God.
Actually,
Naughty boy.
There's a lot of people talking, isn't it, from all teams now?
Yeah. Now everybody's piping up about the curators.
They've never had so much airtime before.
Yeah.
Curators.
No, it used to be. In the beginning, there used to be this gentleman called Probir Mukherjee who's passed away, an absolute legend. And
With his chair over there, right?
yeah. He was in his 80s and he used to go there and he used to wave everybody off saying, I'll do the right pitch and all that. And then he'd say, don't worry. Tell Gautam not to worry. I'll sort him out. So, he's a wonderful man.
That's amazing. All right, Joy Factor question and answer. Over to you, sir.
Okay, this is easy. Not easy, but it's a fun one. Glenn Maxwell, Steve Smith, Darren Lehman, Arjuna Ranatunge, the missing Indian cricketer in this list. Remember the 96 World Cup finals, the 99 World Cup finals, and of course after that, the 2011 World Cup finals. These are all cricketers who have hit the winning runs in a World Cup final. The missing man, of course, hit it on this day 14 years ago, April the 2nd.
Right.
MS Dhoni. That was the helicopter, wasn't the helicopter, but that was the six that finished the World Cup.
Yep. There's a little four-seat shrine at the Vankade,
there
isn't it,
is,
where the ball landed? Yeah, fantastic. Our first correct answer came in from? Waiting. Arvind. Arvind, congratulations to you. Well done. Congratulations.
Well, he obviously thinks he's a champ, hey?
Absolutely.
He already knows.
Yeah.
Confident. Just like the cricketers nowadays. Young Indian cricketers nowadays.
I love
They're like cowboys. They go and shoot. They're not scared of anybody.
Yeah. Bullseye for all of them. All right. Has anyone got a bullseye today in our guessing game? We guys did really badly. All of us. We got nothing. Nada. Zilch between all of us.
Watch my numbers plummet.
It's a bit like the US stock market right now. Well, look at Tanya, makes a debut on the Hindi show. Gets 1 out of 2, straight up at 50%. It's going to be fun to see her numbers plummet now in the next few days. The problem with a dream start like that is that the joy is short-lived.
Yes, correct.
Because you see yourself, you know this.
I was 100%.
You're 100%, then you were 75, then you were 50. And now bring the thing back again. I want to see mine. I just want to see mine. Man, I'm almost down out of that first row. I'm at 20%.
Don't worry, I'm holding up the rear. Harsha, me and Kartik are holding up the rear. Saimi is not far ahead though.
Hang on, at least she's off the mark. You guys haven't even been off the mark.
I have had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is my 6th hit. And I've missed, in 6 shots I've missed. Anyway.
We should have tried harder today. Honestly, I think knowing this pitch and knowing that, we shouldn't have gone for... We misled him. Yeah, what was
He went low anyway.
I went low, but I just didn't go low enough.
Your power play score guess was 54?
55.
55.
I was 53.
I was 59.
Well, I just thought that they'd go a little bit harder to try and get ahead of it.
But we didn't, the thing is, we didn't respect the surface.
No, we didn't.
We did not. That was the
okay,
mistake.
sorry, that was my 4th miss. It's not my 6th miss, it's my 4th.
Oh, they've come into
that doesn't make it,
It's not that bad then. You're here tomorrow. I'll tell you what. I'm going to be sitting at home, clear head.
Can I call you?
Yeah. I would have just finished a 2-hour paddle game. All right?
That's it.
I'll just be in the best mood. Right? The endorphins are going to be kicking in.
Okay.
I'll get both of yours right tomorrow.
Okay.
All right?
You're the man. You're my man.
Coming.
I have no confidence in myself. You tell me what happens.
Oh, wait a second. It's Hyderabad playing tomorrow. No, I can't guess. I'm sorry. Hyderabad, 150 or 300, I don't know. The spread is just too much. With Hyderabad, the spread is... You can't guess. I'm sorry, it's going to be 0 from 6.
You're a friend, Gaurav. You were a friend.
It's going to be... I'll still try.
Yeah.
Well, that's all we have time for. And that's the best we can do. Try. Yeah? Success is not in our hands. It's in your hands. Yeah? Just with your finger, you can just finish us. You just finish us right now. But before you do that, I'm going to finish the show because I control you. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry about that. I don't know what came over me. I am your servant. Please forgive me. Thank you, Joy Bhattacharya. Thank you, Lisa Sthalekar. Thank you very much.
Okay.
I've got 3 days off, so I can say anything. If they don't watch tomorrow, I don't care. Right?
Thank you. Way up in the popularity charts.
It doesn't matter to me. No, it does. Please come back tomorrow and watch Voltas FreshAir Coolers presents Cricbuzz Live. Thank you for watching. Good night. I should take my medication now.
I think...
दिल्ली में आपका स्वागत
ನಿಲ್ದಾಣದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೊರಟಿರುವ